It is Wednesday, October 15th. That's right, for all you late taxpayers like myself. Um, I hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday. We're gonna have a showdown, but not with Justin. I'm not gonna beat Justin down today on the debates. I'm gonna beat my buddy down on Friday on our Friday show, Pudge. That's right. We have a new guest host as Justin is over there in Italy. He sent me a text. He's in Sicily about to go to a winery. You know what? Screw him and screw Italy. We're talking football today. So, Pudge, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
You're watching the Start Sit Showdown only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Italy. Italy. Could you imagine being in Italy during football season? Could you imagine? I could imagine. I wish I was there. I'm just not as rich. Look, when you're the boss, you can go do these things, right? You can.
Yeah,
What's going on,
pretty
Jamie?
much.
So today's show, if you're new to the show, we take two players that aren't like, oh, we're not going Bajan Robinson versus Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, come on. That'd be a dumb show. But we are taking two players from like mid-tier, like wide receiver 2-3, running back 2-3, quarterback 2-3, and we're discussing whether you have to start them or sit them because you may have these real life decisions in your own fantasy league. So we're going to go quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, and the other position I missed. And then we will answer all of your questions and read all of your comments around 12:30. So let us bang these out, tell you who to start and sit, and then we'll get to all of your questions. For direct, instant questions, join our Discord, chat.fantasynowplus.com. You can add us. You can go into the general chat. We have dynasty chats. We have redraft chat. We got a bunch of chats. Ask your questions there as well. We will get to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not Saturdays. Saturdays I take off. But let's not waste any more time. I tell Sean and Justin, don't call me, don't text me. Saturdays are my day off. But let's go into the quarterback matchup right here. And Jonathan, I see your question. Here's a good one. Waddle or Diggs at the flex PPR. I promise you, we're gonna get to that. I promise you, all of you. Jamie, what's going on if I didn't say that at all or in the beginning? But we have some ugly matchups at the quarterback position. Spencer Rattler at Chicago or Tua. I'm not going to say that last name because I'll butcher it, at Cleveland. So normally I let Justin kick things off because I feel bad for him after I smash him. So Pudge, I'm also going to let you go first because I plan on smashing you as well.
So Tua I get Tua or who? Who is this?
You can Spencer Rattler or Tua. Who are we starting this week? Make a case.
Brother. It has to be Tua, right? Tua's got to be the guy. I mean, he's got the most continuity. Spencer Rattler is mediocre at best. I don't think he's got. I don't think he's got the tools that Tua does. Tua is a head case, and if he could ever get out of his own way, he might actually be pretty good as far as that is concerned. His ability to push the ball down the field, Waddle's still available. Without Tyreek, there's going to be some shift change, but I don't see anything over there with Olave and Taysom Hill and Juwan Johnson. These guys aren't pushing the needle for me.
Oh, man. See, usually me and Justin so far have been agreeing on a lot of stuff, and I'm the one who has to take like the underdog or the person that you wouldn't want to start and try to make a case for them, and then I look foolish and people laugh at me and tell me I'm terrible, which is fine. I can argue both sides. I can argue for Tua and I can argue for Spencer Rattler, but I'm not going to be arguing for Mr. Tua Tagovailoa. I can't say it. I just can't. I tried. We are part of the Fins Talk Sports Network, and I apologize to all you Fins fans watching around the world, but I'm going to tell you to sit Tua, and you may want to be able to drop him. Honestly, he has not been good this season. He's playing Cleveland. Cleveland, we know they can get to the quarterback. We know that they can sack the quarterback. We know they're a menace on bad offensive lines. We know Tua has no mobility. I think I have more mobility than Tua. I bet you I have more rushing yards this season. I don't know that for a fact, but I don't think Tua even has a rushing yard. I don't know. I just don't like Tua in this situation against Cleveland, just because of that. And you don't have Tyreek. That's a big miss. They do have Darren Waller, big target. He's been involved in this offense. Waddle has stepped up in that role, not stepped up as much as I want him to, but he has stepped up in that role. But again, when the pressure comes down, what's Tua going to do? We'll get there. Spencer Rattler's playing Chicago. Chicago gives up the 4th most fantasy points to all quarterbacks. Chicago can't cover nobody. I don't know why you're dogging Spencer Rattler. I don't know. I don't understand. He's a quarterback 20. He does average 14.3 points per game, which isn't great, but it's not spectacular. It's not horrible. People are starting guys like Michael Penix and Geno Smith above him. Would you start Michael Penix and Geno Smith above Mr. Spencer Rattler just on a normal day, normal week?
I would start Geno Smith. I wouldn't trust the other one. Not at all.
Most people would because of Drake London and Bajan, and they're in a high-power offense, and their uniforms look cool. Spencer Rattler's above both those guys in the rankings and fantasy points per game. Spencer Rattler's getting hated on for no reason. Yes, he's not freaking awesome, right? But he's serviceable. He only has 1 game under 200 passing yards this season. That was against Buffalo. And he only has 1 interception on the entire season. That's it.
He's only got 6 touchdowns, too.
Yeah, he only has 6 touchdowns, too. He's not going to the bed. He's not going to give you Cooper Rush negative 0.01 points. He's not going to do that. He's going to at least give you some double-digit points. If we're talking Tua versus Spencer Rattler, I'm 1,000% going to go Spencer Rattler here. And if you look on the Bears side of things, which you're the IDP guy, dude, they're down. Their secondary is down bad. Now, I'm going to read off these names. You tell me if they're good or not. Jalen Johnson, IR, corner for the Bears.
No.
IR.
I mean, he's good,
IR.
but yeah.
IR. Kyler Gordon, cornerback, hamstring, questionable. Not looking good in the secondary. Terrell Smith, cornerback, knee, IR. Zach, I don't even know this guy's name, cornerback, IR. Dude, they're calling people up from the practice squad to play corner in Chicago. I'm sorry, man. Chris Olave's been solid. Not great. I'm going Spencer Rattler here versus Chicago. Again, Tua. Who's Tua? Tua is milquetoast. Tua is what we want. Dude, Tua is it's ungodly bad with Tua right now. But I don't know, man.
I think you're too close to the situation. You might feel a little scorned. Could be it.
Yeah. Yeah, I might be scorned, but hey, you're going to go Tua with the upside. I'm going to go Spencer Rattler with the high floor. We'll see where we go from there. Ryan Vault, Lex, I see all of you in the chat. I promise we'll get to you. We just like to get done with our showdowns first because we like to cut them up in some certain ways, and we'll get to every comment that is on there. For this next matchup, we're going to go to the running back position, and I advise you, Pudge, look at the list below week 6. Look at week 7. We have Jalen Warren at Cincinnati. Thursday night football. Justin's been doing this lately because he said all these matchups, and screw you, Justin. Jalen Warren at Cincinnati, Thursday night football. Chase Brown versus Pittsburgh, also Thursday night football. He knows I hate Thursday night football games. He knows I protest. I don't turn on Amazon Prime. Same game. And plus it's Thursday night football. Justin's been doing this all season. He's forcing me to watch Thursday night games. He's forcing me to. And I hate him. So who are we going for? Chase Brown versus Pittsburgh or Jalen Warren at Cincinnati?
So I'm going to take Jalen Warren here. Jalen Warren came back after the bye healthy. He took over for Kenny Gainwell, who filled in serviceably. I believe he had 32 snaps to Gainwell's 20. is his job, and he has done incredibly well in that system with Aaron Rodgers and everybody over there with Arthur Smith. It looks like that soft Bengals defense is going to be in for it. I don't have any trust in Brown. I sold Chase Brown early this season in Dynasty and everywhere I had him, and I've been very happy with his lack of efficiency in his breakaway plays. He's had none. Samaje Perine is actually eating into his workload big time, and I have no faith in Chase Brown moving forward.
Yeah, you just took the words right out of my mouth, man. Chase Brown, and we talked about this yesterday with Charlene on the waiver show, because there was a lot of Chase Brown questions. And here's what I say to everybody, and I'm a broken record. I say the same things over and over. I don't care who you drafted in August. I don't care where you drafted them in August. I don't care if they were a first round pick, second round pick, third, fourth. I don't care. When a player is underperforming, you cannot go back to, well, I drafted him in the second round. I drafted him. I don't care. I truly do not care. He's bad. Chase Brown, that is. He's running back 30 on the year, 9.7 points per game. He's kind of unstartable. The Steelers are kind of middle of the road against the rush, but it doesn't matter, because you're right. When I saw Perine started getting carries last week, I'm going, have they lost faith in Chase Brown? Or does Joe Flacco not feel comfortable with his pass pro? Do they need so much? I don't know. I truly don't know. That's why I'm asking these questions. Like, was there a
prior
change?
prior to Flacco taking over, Samaje Perine was actually eating into Chase's workload with Jake Browning that last game, and then this past game especially. But when you're averaging 2.7 yards a carry and you have 38.4 fantasy points on the year through 6 games, yeah, you're on the bench. You're actually you're cuttable. I don't care where you drafted him. You were alluding to it, but you are actually on the chopping block. Get off of my team. I can replace you with a guy like Woody Marks.
Yep. That was actually on the waiver show yesterday. People were like, hey, I straight up said, cut Chase Brown for that player that you wanted to add, because what is he doing for you? And plus, he's a landmine for other players. So some other manager's going to pick him up and clog that roster. Last week, he didn't do as well as we want. It was ungood. He had 8 carries and 7 catches for 48 total yards. How do you have that many? I bet you if I had 15 opportunities in the NFL, I think I couldn't get 48 yards, but I could probably get close to 48 yards. I think, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Probably not.
I think you could probably fall forward for 2.7 yards a carry.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We all expected a 70% snap share like he got weeks 1 and 2. That has finally been cut off. He's now down to that 50-54 range, like you mentioned with Perine. He's just not someone I want to touch. As far as Jaylen Warren, which we didn't even get to, we were just talking trash about Chase Brown this whole time. Jaylen Warren does play Cincinnati, and Cincinnati allow literally the worst points per game to the running back. They give up 29.7 fantasy points per game to the running back position. So this could be a situation where you don't have to be afraid of Gainwell getting into the touches, because both players can flourish in this offense, and I think both will. On a Thursday night game, I don't see Rodgers throwing for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I see this more of a kind of like what Josh Jacobs just did, right? Run down the field. They're going to utilize that. That's just the way it's going to be. Jaylen Warren is back. Aaron Rodgers has had good things about Jaylen Warren. I wish we were talking about Caleb Johnson in the same light, but we're not. Jaylen Warren has been a very good back. Not great, good back for them. When Warren has averaged double-digit carries all season, he is the lead back. Don't expect the 84% snap share like he had going into the injury, because he did have that. Then Gainwell showed that he's really good too. So I would start Jaylen Warren here at Cincinnati. No questions about it. I think we've wasted too much time on this because we both agree. I think everyone in the chat probably agrees as well. Chase Brown, it's just people are still holding on to him.
Cut.
As I tell my son when he's has too much YouTube.
Time to go.
Time to go. Our next matchup here, we're going to go straight to the wide receivers. Again, two mid matchups, two mid wide receivers, but we have questions. Cooper Kupp is playing Houston on Monday Night Football, or Jameson Williams at home versus Tampa Bay. This is your team. Lions up. What do you guys say? Lions up. Lions Den. What do you guys say? What is it?
It's one pride.
One pride. All right. So one pride,
Yeah,
Jameson
one
Williams. Tell me
pride.
why we should start Jameson Williams over Cooper Kupp.
Jameson Williams he's been a conundrum all season. His usage has been less than ideal. As far as the player, he hasn't regressed. It's more, what's the word? He hasn't had the opportunity because Goff hasn't had the amount of time that he normally does. Losing Ragnow was a very harsh reality in the offseason, as well as Kevin Zeitler, who was also All-Pro, their right guard. They moved on to Graham Glasgow and a rookie, and that rookie has been doing well. He's been doing things, but he hasn't allowed Jameson Williams to run rampant like he normally does. And he's been really making his bread on those short crossers, those little slants, and yards after the catch. His yak has been great, but his air yards this year are down. Jameson this week, though, against a very soft Tampa Bay secondary with a team that has no wide receivers left, other than 5'0" Tez Johnson.
Chill.
You know, that's my guy, but I could see this being a bonanza game for Jameson Williams for sure. It could be a big time win for those guys coming back from a Sunday night game that was less than ideal. They're going to be losing their star safety, Brian Branch. So it could be a no defense kind of game.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Jameson Williams, here's what I wrote about Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is a wide receiver I never want on my roster. He is the Temu version of Deshaun Jackson. Word for word. Listen, he is. He's so frustrating to roster because it's either 5 points or 18 points, and you don't know when, you don't know why. You can't predict it. But this one, you kind of can predict it because I'm going to break it down for you. Let me talk to you. Yeah. So we have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. We know that's the heart of their offense, right? Sonic and Knuckles. What does Tampa Bay do best on defense?
Vitavia.
They beat up. Vita Vea beats up running backs.
Yeah,
even Saquon Barkley couldn't get up. Nobody could do it. Vita Vea is quietly, I don't know why, like all these other people get all this flash and media attention. Vita Vea just quietly just shuts everyone down and no one talks about him. So I don't really have faith in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery going off this week. What I said about Lab McConkey last week was they lost Hampton. They have Vidal, which I forget everything I said about that, but it kind of happened that you're going to use Lad as an extension of the run game because he can do that. Jameson Williams, like you said, he has been yards after the catch all season. He's got those slants, those crossers. I feel like they're going to use that instead of Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery to extend that running game to set up the deep balls. So I'm all in on Jameson Williams this week, especially against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is kind of middle of the road as far as pass defense goes, but they are soft. Like you are 1,000% correct. I'm just worried about his target share. I looked at it and I didn't know this because I don't roster either. And I'm going to say Sam Laporta. I don't roster either of them. I was shocked to see Sam Laporta had more receptions and yardage on the season than Jameson Williams. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it.
Look at his targets: 7, 1, 8, 3, 4, 5. That is wide receiver 4,
Yeah.
barely flexed
So let me go
ability.
to the other side of the things where Cooper Kupp is the other person versus Houston. Houston gives up nothing to receivers. So the fourth best in the NFL. They really are. They have a great defense. I'm worried about Mr. Cooper Kupp. And I know what's funny about this? I forgot Cooper Kupp still played football. I really did. Because that show, the whole thing in Seattle is JSN, AJ Barner, and you have 2 bum running backs. That's it. Like, I didn't think Cooper Kupp was a thing. I guess I was wrong. Well, he's still not a thing. He's wide receiver 43 on the season. But the fact of the matter is, he's still getting targets. He's actually second in targets on the Seahawks.
Which is crazy because everything funnels to JSN.
Yeah. Here's my next point is, he has an above 20% target share. Cooper Kupp does, but it doesn't matter if you're not throwing the ball. Sam Darnold doesn't throw the ball a ton. He's only thrown the ball 161 times this season. That's lower than Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts. Mac Jones isn't even a starter in this league, and Jalen Hurts has been criticized for not throwing the ball all season. They just don't.
But the crazy part is he's third in yardage.
Yeah,
there's the efficiency with Cooper Kupp and JSN that you're going to see, and AJ Barner, Barnkowski. I'm sorry, but
yeah. Again, and Barner is getting more involved in this offense. We talked about him yesterday on the waiver show. He's averaging something crazy like 3.24 fantasy points per target. Barner is. They are ultra efficient over there. So when is the shoe going to fall off? I don't want to talk about that because I'm enjoying this magic with JSN and Barner and everybody else over there. That being said, against Houston, Monday Night Football, I'm still going to go Jameson Williams against Tampa Bay with the opportunity of him popping one off on this very soft defense. I'm just worried that he is the fourth option, that Gibbs will be getting catches out of the backfield, that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be peppered, that maybe Sam Laporta isn't going to be covered by the Buccaneers linebackers. Maybe they're too big. I don't know. So with that being said, that's why I'm going Jameson over Kupp, because I know Kupp isn't going to get the target share. Well, he's going to get the share, just not the targets, whereas Jameson has a little bit more pop. And let me say this.
You look at Houston too, though. They're coming off a bye, and I don't want to give that defense any more time to prepare for me than they absolutely need to. That defense is going to be stifling coming off the bye.
They'll be flying around. And the last time Cooper Kupp averaged under 6 targets a game, the last time Cooper Kupp averaged under 6, never. Literally never. He's never been this low as far as targets go and everything else, even his rookie season. And did we all forget that he's almost 33 years old? Like, I remember when I was 33 years old, that was about 6-7 years ago, years ago. And I hurt back then. Now I hurt way more now. So I don't know, man. Age is definitely a factor to me. And our last matchup, Battle of the Tight Ends. These are gross tight ends. Not one of them. One's cool. We have Zach Ertz against Dallas. I think that's why he's on this list. I think that's why Justin put him here, because he is playing at Dallas. And we know when you play Dallas, you eat. And then we have Mr. Fannin, Mr. FF Philosopher's favorite player of all time, Harold Fannin against Miami, who also you're going to eat against. So this is tough, man. One is a tight end 12 on the season, Fannin, and one is the tight end 13 on the season. Who are you going with, Zach Ertz or Mr. Harold Fannin?
So I'm going to let you take Fannin, even though I have a man crush on him. I'm going to take Zach Ertz, the old man. I absolutely think that Dallas's defense is just horrendous. Like I said, I put it out yesterday in the IDP waiver article. Donovan Wilson has been catching all of these tackles at the free safety position because nobody else has been able to stop anybody in the middle or on the outside. And Zach Ertz with Jaden Daniels is going to absolutely go nuts this week especially against that Dallas defense that presumably can't stop anybody.
Hold on, I gotta Google Harold Fannin's mom. Hold on, I gotta confirm. Have you seen his mom?
No, I did a whole article on him. I didn't look at his mom.
I can't. You know what? I'm probably gonna get in trouble with this search, but I will say this: I can't find his mom unless that's his mom. Then she is fine. So we'll. That looks like Kay Adams.
But he is.
Anyway,
the guy is coming off of a crazy game. So
oh yeah,
talk about it.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So it's a tale of two halves for Harold Fannin, of course, because he's coming in as a 21-year-old rookie, and they have David Njoku there out of the U. That's tight end U. So how could you just come in and replace David Njoku just like that? Well, he didn't. He had to work his way up and be involved in this offense. He's actually leading the team in yardage and receiving. I didn't know that until a couple days ago, actually. He has been stepping up ever since, they needed him to. And let's be honest, Jerry Jeudy is not. Would he be the biggest bust in the past 20 years as far as the wide receiver position goes? He's got to be. He's came out of Alabama. He was deemed the next Julio Jones.
Harry.
I guess. Because at least Jerry Jeudy's still playing. But we didn't see Harry be as bad for 10 years like we're seeing Jeudy. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Jeudy
was a top 10 wide receiver last year.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. I know he was, actually. But it's so frustrating this year, at least, to roster him because I did buy in on that top 10 finish, and he's been just dropping everything. But not Fannin. Fannin's been picking things up. Last 3 weeks, his usage has almost doubled, so that's great. We want to see that at the tight end position. And he's actually fourth in the entire league at tight end targets. That's as a backup. Imagine that. That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, he's not the starter. Yeah.
Yeah, and Njoku is very doubtful this week. He's probably not going to play, and I don't think he's going to play for the Browns ever again until they trade him. Well, then they wouldn't play. Then he would never play for the Browns. But he's definitely on the trade market, 1,000%. I don't see why they would keep him around. I believe he's on the last year of his deal. Is he? Is he not? Pretty sure he is. They have every right. Fannin. Yeah, they have every right to move Njoku. So Fannin is the guy in the future. And guys, it's Miami. Benton's Talk Sports Network, you know this. Bobby Melendez, if you're watching, you know this. They can't cover nobody. They can't stop nobody. Harold Fannin is my start this week. No doubt about it. Zach Ertz, I'm really worried about because you might like him. You might like this matchup, but it feels like they're phasing him out of this offense for some reason. And it's maybe because I don't roster Ertz anywhere. I feel like Debo is all they need. I feel like Debo has been a revelation for Jaden Daniels. He's been something positive for that Washington Commanders offense. And you don't really need a slow and old Zach Ertz when you have Debo who's younger, faster, and could probably do more. And he has been doing more. I just like Fannin in this spot. It's a bright spot, and I've been trading for him everywhere. And I wish I would have listened to Will on Fantasy Now Plus earlier and drafted him and traded for him earlier when he had no value. I regret all of that. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
This is Njoku's last year. He's heading into his year 30 as a UFA next year in 2026. So this is the last year in his contract.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. Fannin is the future with Cedric Tillman on IR. It's been wheels up for him. Njoku hurt. I don't see anything other than Isaiah Bond or a ghost of Jerry Jeudy getting in his way for the target share over there.
Yep.
But yeah, I do like the fact that Terry McLaurin has been absent as far as even when he's been on the field, not injured. That's a young quarterback's dream is a tight end that can bail you out. So that's why I've been so high on Zach Ertz this year. It paid off the very first couple of games. Then Ertz went out, Daniels went out. So,
yep. So we'll see how that goes. But that is the matchup. Look at that, 12:30 on the dot. We're the guys. In case you didn't know, we do an IDP show every Friday night. That's like a 90-minute show because we don't shut up. So I'm really applause that we made it.
I have so 30 much minutes to say
tight. So do I, but we got to be tight with these So we'll save it for Friday. So if you're a fan of Mr. Pudge or myself, which I don't know why you'd be a fan of myself, but if you're a fan of Pudge, check us out Friday night, 6:30 p.m. We'll be doing our IDP show. We do break down a couple IDP players. We do the breakdown or the review of the Thursday night game. And we also do a little buy sell at the very end for fun, and we just have a lot of fun with it. So check us out Friday nights at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So let's get to your questions and comments, peoples. We have Jonathan Santiago. He wants to know Wandale Robinson or Diggs at the flex PPR position.
So
So we talked about. Oh, go ahead.
I'd say I like Wandale. Sans the injury to Neighbors and the emergence of Jackson Dart and Theo Johnson. He's becoming the number one there, as you know, he's needed. I like him a little better than Diggs right now. What do you say?
Yeah, I say the same thing. I think Wandale is going to be funnel targets through Jackson Dart and through that offense, whereas Diggs may be the better player, and he is the better player overall. If you talk about just career-wise and numbers-wise and everything else, all the accomplishments. But New England's in a situation where Drake May is so good. Drake May has been unlocked where it doesn't matter if it's Boutte, it doesn't matter if it's Demario Douglas, it doesn't matter if it's Stephon Diggs, it doesn't matter if it's Hunter freaking Henry. The ball's going down the field and it's going to be caught. It's going to be thrown to the open receiver. So in that situation, I'd rather have the guy who's going to get guaranteed funnel targets rather than the guy that's going to be scattered around targets. How many times, let me ask you a question, Budge. How many times, and everyone in the chat can answer too, have you seen Boutte been picked up on the waivers this morning or Tuesday morning of any league and then dropped the next week? How many times is this? We got to stop falling for it, people. We have to.
Yeah, it's one of those it's kind of one of those Buffalo things where you pick up the Buffalo wide receiver that went off the week prior, and all of a sudden it is somebody else.
Somebody else's turn. It's just the way it's going to be over there. Lex Plant Some Trees wants to know, should I drop Juwan Jennings for Coker? Tajay Spears, I'm assuming. Manani Guy, Isaiah Smith, or Blue, all would be stashes, 12-team PPR league, 6 bench spots, no IR.
Drop. No, I'm assuming.
So Coker's back. Tajay Spears is back. Manani Guy, I don't think has much value right now at the moment. No, Isaiah Smith, you're just holding on in case Brees gets hurt. And Blue is honestly
keeping him over all these guys.
Who are you keeping? Juwan? I'm keeping Juwan Jennings too. Over all these guys.
I like Jennings over these guys. Tajay Spears, he's not going to do anything. He hasn't ever done anything.
Well,
he's going to get hurt.
There's rumors of Pollard being on the trade market, and the Chargers are probably highly interested in a running back. So there's that. If Tony Pollard gets traded, which is being talked about, you didn't see these rumors? You didn't see this? Let me show you.
I believe it when I see it.
But he is rumored he's on the trade market.
So was Jameson Williams last year, and then they signed him to a multi-year contract. So
yeah, but Detroit's not a loser team that's like just fired their head coach. Right? It's time to gut everything over there in Tennessee.
Yeah, well, they just fired their head coach, so we'll see. There's no continuity. This is Cam Ward's. This is going to be his third offensive play caller this year. No, I want to stay away from those guys. So,
I'm keeping Juwan Jennings. The only person that's close to me is Tajay Spears, but that's only because I think Pollard will be traded. But I prefer Juwan Jennings in that offense. Also, trade away same person. Lex Plant Some Trees. Also, trade away Dowdle for Studkins. Note, I have Chuba in that league.
I don't think Dowdle can keep on doing this.
Remember, people.
We ate an L last week. You and I, on Sunday, telling people to sit Dowdle, and I apologize for that. But my process was right. I'm sticking to it. I don't think Dowdle can keep on doing this. When Chuba comes back, Hubbard is going to be the number one guy. There's a reason he was the number one guy, is because he's better than Dowdle. Judkins is their number one running back, so I'm going to stick with Judkins.
Yep. Just remember, Dowdle played Miami and Dallas back to back. Just remember that. He played Dallas and Miami back to back. And Studkins is a freaking stud. Go get Studkins. Yes, go get Judkins. I'd rather start Rattler over Geno. Yeah, me too. Me too. I thought Chicago was giving fourth. Could be wrong. Could be right. Depends on, I guess, the outlet you look at. I've noticed that different outlets have different. I use for all mine. I use Fantasy Pros. T-Law or Dimes rest of season. To me, it's Dimes. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. And that should have been a matchup. But I feel like Dimes has already passed every test we need him to. He's thrown interceptions and had bad drives and had bad plays, but has bounced back from them. He has not gone down in his pity party and cried on the bench. He picked himself back up. He's been comfortable with Tyler Warren, making him a top target. Michael Pittman has been revived in this offense. Josh Downs is now getting more involved, as we saw last week. I just like Danny Dimes' I guess comfortability. I can't say that word. Or in Indianapolis, I like the pass catchers a lot better in Indianapolis. Yes, I know they have Brian Thomas Jr. over there, but they also have Travis Hunter and a bunch of other bums that aren't focused strictly on offense. So I'm going to go Danny Dimes rest of season. T-Law's fun and all, but at the end of the day, you just have Brian Thomas Jr. and a bunch of guys and a new offensive system he's trying to figure out.
They started the year off against Miami. They played a reeling Denver team that had half of their secondary gone. Then they played Tennessee. Come on. No, I don't. Since that, he's had 22 completions, 20 completions. No, 18 completions. No, get out of here.
You're out on Dimes. Okay. All right. I'm sticking with Dimes. Sticking with my guy. The one game you start him over Tua, Russ is going to have one of those random four. Yeah. Yep. That's how it happens.
In the softest division ever.
Yeah, Tua. But, I'm John Cena. You can't see me. I see you, Jamie. I see you everywhere. Michael Penix or Dylan Gabriel. Superflex pick one. Dylan Gabriel has Miami. Like, you can't hate on that. That's a good starting point. Michael Penix has been inconsistent, up and down. You said it yourself. You don't feel comfortable starting Michael Penix even over Spencer Rattler.
No, and we just talked up Fannin. So I'm going to have to go with Dylan Gabriel.
I'm going Dylan Gabriel this week too. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy to think. Who's Atlanta player?
I don't trust left-handed quarterbacks. I can't do it.
Isn't Gabriel left-handed? Am I wrong?
Michael Penix is left-handed, and so is Tua.
Yeah. So Atlanta plays San Francisco. Full PPR, flex pick one, Lad, Vidal, Pearsall, or Tet. He's worried about Sauce Gardner matchup. He just shut down Sutton. So Lad, Vidal, Pearsall, or Tet. Pick one. So
for me, it's Lad with if especially if Johnston's out again. I didn't see on the injury report if he is or not. Pearsall is still questionable. I saw that. Tet, I'm not worried. They're gonna funnel targets to him. If you look at his target share, it is all the way turned up, and it would be pick your poison. If Huge is going to play, I would take Tet. If you feel better about Lad than Tet, or Tet than Lad, I would go Tet that way. But I'm not worried about Sauce Gardner.
It's a massive matchup this week. Hosting the Colts. Danny Dimes is about to go in them and torch them too. So that being said, I'm a really big fan of Lad this week. I think they're going to use him the same way they used him last week. So Lad is my guy over all the rest. Secondary, though, I would also consider Ted. I'm not that much worried about Sauce as Ted. Just once you get the targets, listen, these offensive players get paid too. I understand he's a rookie and he's not getting paid as much money as the other guys, but they're professional athletes too. He should be able to beat, if he's going to be an elite athlete, he should be able to at least beat Sauce 50% of the time.
And if you look at Sauce's coverage, so I'm an IDP guy.
Yes, you are.
He does not always shadow the opposition's top wide receiver. Often, very often, he sticks to the whatever side of the field the quarterback is most comfortable with. Left-handed quarterbacks, it's going to be the right-hand side. Right-handed quarterbacks, it's going to be the left-hand side. If he's going out there, he's going to be shadowing whoever to the left of that quarterback. Very often, you don't see him shadow all the way over the field unless he's got a guy like Devontae Adams or somebody like that.
Jamie wants to add, did you realize the alpha lion makes love to his relatives? Did you also know the Lannisters did? And they're my favorite family in Game of Thrones.
They're also lions.
Exactly. Keep both tight end, Mason Taylor and Kittle, or drop one. I would drop Mason Taylor now that Kittle's back. 1000% Maddie randoms. You know, you're never going to start Mason Taylor over Kittle.
No.
Never. And don't be tempted to.
Even with Garrett Wilson out, I know it's tempting to do, but you can't do it.
Yep, 1000%. Hey, I want Hershey's chocolate, but I don't keep it around me because if it's there, I'm going to eat it. So I toss it out. I have Harold. Share that number offline, Jamie. I'm down. Hunter Henry or Woody Marks at flex in Guillotine League, tight end premium 0.5.
Oh.
Ooh, Guillotine Leagues, man. They're so much fun. Have you played in one? They're very trendy this year. Everyone's playing them.
I am not in one. I was offered to, and
I've been running ones for the past 5 years now, and I will say this with my experience of Guillotine Leagues, always start the person with the higher floor. Always be safe than sorry. A 0 in your lineup can kill you. I'm not saying Woody Marks will get you a 0, but always play with the higher floor. And do we believe Hunter Henry has a higher floor? Because the tight end premium 0.5 per catch. We just talked about Drake May spreading the ball around and slinging it all over the place. I think I would go Hunter Henry.
Yeah, I mean, Marks went from 17 attempts down to 7 in this past game against Baltimore. That's scary. In addition, he went from 5 targets down to 1. So, I mean, that was a little bit of circumstance because they had 44 points. They were up big. They didn't need to throw the ball. But, man, oh, man, I'm going to go with Hunter Henry. He's not going to blank you, hopefully.
Yep. Rest of season, Jordan Mason and Barner or Sutton. So I guess that's a trade offer. Jordan Mason and Barner for Sutton. I'm assuming that's the trade. Jordan Mason is a good fill-in for bye week running backs. He's not going to catch the ball, obviously, and his normal games are going to be like Derrick Henry light, 15 carries, 60 yards. You're lucky or happy if he scores a touchdown. If they become down in games, they use that other running back, Xavier. I forgot his last. I can't stand that guy because I've rostered Jordan Mason everywhere. But they use him a ton, and it's super annoying. Kind of like the whole Derrick Henry situation. His whole entire career, they're down in games. They just sit him and they use the pass catcher. It's annoying.
Yeah, he hasn't. Jordan Mason hasn't had more than 3 receptions this year in a game. So he's primarily used in the run game.
Yep. In Barner,
they're going to get JJ McCarthy back too. So that will be some of the rushing edge that goes to Mason will be taken away.
So I like Sutton. Bottom line is I like Sutton because he is if you think about Denver, who's the offense? It's not J.K. Dobbins. It's not Franklin. It's Sutton. Sutton is that offense. If you think about Minnesota, Jordan Mason's probably the 4th name you name. You got Justin Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson. So that's why. And Barner, he's not getting enough targets yet. I like Barner. Not getting enough targets yet. I'm not going to read that, Jamie. All right. Bill Krosky or Scattaboo in flex. or sit Javonte Williams for them both? I don't know how you can sit Scatterboo or Javonte at this
Yeah,
point.
I can't sit. I can't sit Javonte right now. No, just can't do it.
No. So Javonte and Scat for me. David Green. That's where I'm going. Scat's too involved. Javonte is mega involved, and JCM is either involved or not. And I don't want to play that game. I know he's playing Dallas. I understand it. I 1000% get it.
That is a division game too, so let's keep that in mind.
Well, we got to say the same thing for Javonte. Division game.
Yeah, but Javonte is the whole offense.
He is.
It's just too sketchy with Bill.
It is. It's sketchy. So Scatterboo and Javonte. Yes, Jamie, can we get more people to hit the like button, please? Come on, man. Do I need to let my hair down? We got the most likes ever.
You want me to let my hair down?
That'd be physically impossible. But yes, I'm ready for it. I want to see some magic.
Here we go.
I'll let my hair down, people. Just let me know. 5 likes, the hair's coming down.
I'll grow mine out.
My other back is Bajan. Dude, stacked. Gosh, you're stacked. Yeah. Bajan, Javonte, and Scatterboo. It's awesome. We all love a disagreement. Yeah, sometimes we do. Waller or Kittle if he plays. I believe Kittle's playing this week. And I'm going to go Kittle, although I do like Waller. Waller's been super mega involved, but I'm going to go Kittle. Kittle is the truth. Lex, plant some trees. Scatterboo, Bill, Rico, sit one PPR.
I'm going to sit Bill. If Chuba's out. Is Chuba on IR?
I am going to, I don't even need to say if this is going to be on IR or whoever's on IR. I'm going to go the Scat Man. And I'm also going to go Darnold if Chuba doesn't play. If Chuba plays, I'm going to go to just cycle back to Bill. So use that as obviously your insurance. But Scatterboo is no question about it. Put him in your lineup. Wait to see if Chuba is officially out. This is my first guillotine league. Yeah, man. Sleeper introduced guillotine leagues for the first time this year. They call them chopped. I used to play on MFL, and they already had guillotine leagues on MFL. I'm a big MFL guy. I love MFL. They already had guillotine leagues, so that's when I started. Then all my friends decided they didn't want to use MFL anymore, so then I had to migrate to Sleeper. So then Sleeper didn't have it. So every single week, every morning at Tuesday morning, I would have to go in there and manually drop people's rosters. It was mega annoying. They introduced Chopped after we already drafted our guillotine league. So thankfully they converted it for us. So thank you, Sleeper, for that. I love guillotine leagues. More people should play them. And more people should use auction formats in their draft as well. Sleeper, get better at that next year. Make auction available for everybody and make it better. Please. That's my thing to you. We got guillotine now as a mainstream thing. Let's work on the auction next. Xavier Scott. Yeah. So annoyed with that guy. Thank you for that.
So I just pulled up the information from Dave Canales in Carolina about an hour ago, and they said that they will see what the split is going to look like between Hubbard and Darnold. So that's going to get real messy real quick. But Hubbard had 10 touchdowns and 1,200 yards last year. They're not going to go away from him just like that.
Nah, it's not going to work. He's not going to get Wally pipped. But that's going to do it for everyone today. I really appreciate you, Pudge, stepping in. You may be called upon next week. We do have Sean lined up, but Sean couldn't do it today, so we had to call in an audible. So just in case everyone knows, Justin will not be here next week. He will probably still be in Sicily drinking wine or doing whatever they do in Paris. Midnight in Paris, by the way, one of my greatest movies of all time. Have you seen it? Probably not. I'm a film connoisseur. Midnight in Paris, check it out. It's got the guy from Zoolander, Hansel. That guy. I forgot his name. But he's the main character. So go check that out, Justin, if you're in Paris. Yeah, Luke Wilson, I think. Or Owen. One of those guys. He's the guy from the Ben Stiller, the movie, right? Where he's a little cowboy. He's like, I'm a little cowboy. That movie. Anyway, David Green has got one more, and then we're going to log out. Higgins or Cup in flesh, asking for a friend. T. Higgins or Cooper Cup. I'm going to go never Cup. I'm going to go T. Higgins.
T. Higgins.
More upside. More boom bust and a higher floor, to be honest. So David
Flacco
Njoku
with one actual full week behind the helm could be good for them too. So
that's right. So check us out everywhere, fantasynowplus.com. Join our Discord, it's chat.fantasynow.com. Make sure you subscribe at Fantasy Now Plus and go to Finns Talk Sports Network. They're great guys over there. If you enjoy Miami Dolphins talk or if you enjoy professional wrestling, I do a show over there about professional wrestling, which I'll be live on Saturday. So Pudge, you have anything else to add before we get out of here? Plug your IDP article. Plug your IDP article.
Oh, hey, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It drops every Tuesday right around 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern. It's got all your IDP ads for the week, your fill-ins, your Brian Branch suspension, your Fred Warner IR fill-in, all that stuff. Go check it out. It's over at fantasynowplus.com.
Perfect. Well, Pudge, get us on out of here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. See you next week. Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.